Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Tony Zano, and this is episode 210 of the world famous University Love podcast, also known as Online Marketing Moves. And we are coming to you live today. Today is February the 22nd, 2021. Today, we are going to talk about being new at something and just going forward. Now, I was watching an interview with Orson Welles. Orson Welles, he directed Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane is on a lot of people's top 10 list movies of all time. It was made, I think, in 1941, 1942, something like that. I've seen the movie once or twice. It's a very good movie. And Orson Welles, he was new. It was his first movie, his first time directing a movie. And in the interview, he said, uh, a pretty good director walked in and said, "I want to work with you." And he said, "Why do you want to work with me? I'm new to this." And he said, "That's exactly why I want to work with you, because you're new and you don't know anything. You're naive to the business." So Orson Welles thought that was great. And then he said, and then the interviewer asked him a question, and he said, "No, it only takes a day and a half to learn how to shoot a movie. After that, you just sort of do it." And he said, "That's it." And he said, "That's it." So Orson Welles was new. He was new to directing movies, and the only thing he did was learn a little bit and take action. Now, how does that apply to you? Because you should do the same thing when it comes to online business. When it comes to online marketing business, the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to learn a lot. And I know we discussed this last week, but I just want to drive home the point, because if a guy like Orson Welles, who has quite arguably made one of the greatest movies of all time, and his first time directing a movie, all he said was a day and a half. He learned. The guy showed him a few things, and then boom, he went for it. You should apply the same thing to yourself. Now, I know it's easier said than done, but the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to learn, because this is not school where you can sit there and learn, and then at the end in a week you regurgitate what you learned. Then you get an A, then you get a pat on the head. No, we don't want that. We want you to learn and apply. We want you to learn and take action. That's what you should do. That's what you must do. This is why when people say they if you go on the Facebook, if you ever go on the Facebook groups or anywhere like that, and somebody says, "Hey, I have this business, I have this business of whatever they want to introduce you to," and a lot of times people will go, "Well, let me think about it." It's And sometimes people start overthinking. They start overthinking. They ask a lot of questions. They ask a lot more questions, and at some point, if you're just gonna sit around and sort of wait and hang out for the right time, then there's no such thing as the right time. I listened to a book that I've listened to for the second time, maybe the third time, but I'm sure I know it's the second time. A book by Zig Ziglar, and he said, if you wait for all the green lights, if you wait for all the green lights to go, you'll never go anywhere. You know what I mean? So if Orson Welles can jump up, be naive, and make one of the greatest movies of all time, then surely I know you can get up, get started on some kind of business, whatever business that you want to take a shot at, and you can get started. You don't have to know. You don't have to know everything. Especially if you're serving an audience. The most important thing is you know more. You know just enough more than what they know. You know what I mean? It's not about you having to. You don't have to know the ins and outs. It's like being a mechanic. These days, a lot of mechanics, they know specialties. They know, some of them know engines, some of them know transmissions, some of them know how to work on tires, some of them know this, some of them know that. There's a lot of times there's more specialists than there are mechanics. Especially, I'll tell you, in the trucking industry, there's no like person that can fix on everything these days. It's not one person you can go to and say, can you fix my engine, and can you lube up my joints, my U-boat joints, all that? No. There's one person for everything. I remember once I went to this place and I said, I need this worked on and that worked on. And he said, well, we can get this fixed, but our trailer guy, he's not in today, so we don't have anybody else that's certified on the trailer. I said, I thought these was all mechanics. He's like, pretty much specialists now. So I say that to say you don't have to know every little thing, you know. I remember when my wife took over her culinary, she took over the business for the culinary school that she owns now. She didn't know everything from A to Z, but the most important thing she did was she said, okay, I'm going to do this. And she took it over. She learned, hit some bumps in the road, but now it's been 5 years and she knows a heck of a lot more now than what she did 5 years ago. So, I know we've had this discussion just the other day, not too long ago, but that interview definitely made me think, and I was like, see, this is what I was talking about. So if you get a chance, just look up Orson Welles and Dick Cavett, and look up when he talked about Citizen Kane, and you can hear it from the man himself. And he went from not directing any movies to creating a masterpiece, and it won a lot of Oscars, and it, you know, it's always on the top 10 list of all time movies. So that's that. Definitely just think about that while you're, if you ever get stuck, you know, if you ever get stuck in fear or stuck just in general, just think about people like Orson Welles. Think about people like, because sometimes the less you know, the better off you are. It's like when I used to teach. I used to teach. I used to teach people how to drive. Well, they would send me people, and then they would spend a month with me in the truck driving. The best people were the ones that never drove a truck, never thought about driving a truck. They just come in, and then they was more willing to learn. The worst people that they done drove before, or they just come back. It's been 5 years, or they have family members that drove. Those are the worst kind of people because they don't want to listen, and they don't want to receive the information. So it was always a sort of a fight, a struggle to get them to do the right thing, do the thing that they're supposed to do. But the person that had never done it before, never thought about it, they were very easy and they learned faster. They was actually better drivers because that way. So I say that, there's a lot of people that have bad habits that probably have been in online marketing for 10 years, 15 years, and they probably really never made any money because they either just sort of hang out on Facebook, do the same thing, jump from one opportunity to the next, do the things that you're not supposed to do. But you could come in, you could learn one thing, and that's the most important thing. It's not about trying to learn 50 things, 100 things. You get good at one thing, and then you can branch that off into a whole bunch of different things. If you become great at affiliate marketing, then you say, the next venture you can do, you can say, hey, I made this amount of money in affiliate marketing. This is why you should listen to me. A successful business is a successful business. It doesn't matter what genre it's in. It's if you've been successful at something, then you can always come and be successful at something else. Not 100% of the time, but you definitely have the tools and the skills to make whatever you want to do a success. All right. So let's keep all that in mind. Think about it when you say, oh, I don't know anything, I'm new, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you just need to know enough and take some action. All right. That's it for today. That's it for the podcast. Hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll be back tomorrow with another hard-hitting episode of Online Marketing Moves. But until then, my name is Tony Rizzano. I wish you good day. And as always, everybody, peace.